From the John C. Hench Production Arts Studios in Peoria, Illinois, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Kayla Neitz and Dawn McClure. News with Stephen Gothald and Danielle Kamsky. And the Midstate Reporting Team. Sports with Brent Dravalis. Jalen Cook is on the beat. Shanesy Fryer takes us about town. Get real with Haley Fichter. Let's eat with Brandon Johnson. Jackie Myers is in the spotlight. Street Team with Ricky Hendon. Megan Casey about crew. And State of the Arts with Brooke James. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine. Take it away, kids.
Hello and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Stephen Gothals.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, Stephen, you're the host this week.
Yeah, I got the call, so here I am.
Cool. How's it feel?
I'm excited. I'm
Awesome.
excited to be on the show, yeah.
Well, one thing I heard about this week that was pretty interesting, I don't know if you've ever been to Red Lobster or not.
I have not, but I've been to Maine and I've eaten lobster.
I'm not sure it compares to a lobster in Maine, but here it goes. So there was a waitress at Red Lobster. She was serving a group of men, and she was an African-American waitress. Basically what happened was she gave them their check, and on the tip they wrote none, and on the total they wrote the N-word, which of course is just, ridiculous.
Yes,
and
that's uncalled for.
But there is a good spot to the story. Someone in California actually heard about it, and you wouldn't believe how much they raised for her. $10,000.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
$10,000, that's
a good chunk of money. Isn't that
yeah.
awesome? So, I mean, obviously it's just ridiculous that kind of thing still goes on, but I thought it was really cool that a bunch of people brought together and kind of raised the money for her.
Yeah, so was the Red Lobster in California as well?
It was.
Okay.
It was. She actually put the picture on Facebook. And so, yeah, speaking of news, hey, don't you got to go do it?
Yes, I actually do. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, let's check in with the news team.
Good evening. I'm Stephen Gothals.
And I'm Danielle Kamsky. Now let's take a look at the news.
The 63rd Annual Illinois Fire Chiefs Association Conference was held at the Peoria Civic Center from October 13th to October 18th. More than 1,000 fire chiefs, mechanics, and training officers attended the Peoria Conference. The conference focused on leadership roles and new fire technology. The local economy continues to receive a boost from this annual event. The Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau thought $300,000 was brought into the city due to the conference.
A report released by Amtrak shows Bloomington Normal is one of the busiest destinations in Illinois. Uptown Station is ranked number 2 after Chicago for drop-offs and pickups. In the 2013 fiscal year, more than 260,000 people passed through Bloomington Normal. Amtrak claims the increasing demand comes from service improvements. The state capital is the 3rd busiest stop in the state. More than 5 million people rode the rails in Illinois during the fiscal year 2013.
Illinois State University has received a high honor. The university's graduation rate now stands at 71.5%, up almost 3% in the last 5 years. That number puts the university in the top 10% for public and private universities nationwide. ISU officials say common goals for the students and a varied curriculum has been the keys to keeping students in class. ISU's new freshman class has a collective ACT score of 24 and a high school GPA of 3.41. Marathons and obstacle courses put athletes to the challenge.
A local obstacle course put a different spin on it. Simone Buckner has the story.
A central Illinois town is getting some national attention. So why did everyone show up covered in mud? Locals took their chance on the 4-mile-long obstacle course known as Hard Charge. Located at Three Sisters Park in Chillicothe, the televised obstacle course brought thousands of contestants and spectators. Some participants ran with the goal to make it on the national show. Others just enjoyed the challenge.
It's my first time. All of our first time, yeah.
I think he does more of the obstacle stuff.
We've done other mud runs, but we're looking forward to this one. It's local. Make fun of one another, take some pictures, create some memories.
A little terrified of like the monkey bars. I don't really have a lot of upper body strength.
Local contender Astrid Stewart welcomed the challenge, as she is no newcomer to similar activities.
Honestly, it wasn't as hard as I was expecting it to be. I'm also training for a different competition right now, so I think that helps with my nutrition and stuff like that. The hardest part was that last wall. That last wall, I don't know, it was just, I was done with the walls. So many walls throughout the entire thing that I was just like, really, this one? Love the mud. The mud part, I loved crawling through the mud. It was really cool. I wasn't expecting the one under the net, but that's where I met one of the girls and I helped her out. She was trying to crawl with her knees, and I was like, no, stick your butt up and just crawl and just go like this.
This year's theme Charge for Children honors Hard Charge's partnership with the Children's Miracle Network. A portion of the registration fee goes back to the organization, and representatives of the Children's Miracle Network volunteered at today's event. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Simone Buckner.
Thanks, Simone. Now here's Brent with sports.
Thanks, Danielle. A former Riverman has turned into a head coach for the team. John Guy Trudell coached his first exhibition game on Friday. Trudell played for the Rivermen for 3 seasons. When Trudell played, he scored 87 goals and totaled 234 points in 177 games. This is not Trudell's first head coaching job either. After his playing days, Trudell took over the Peoria Mustangs, leading the team to a NA3HL Silver Cup championship. A win for the St. Louis Cardinals is also a win for the Peoria Chiefs. Team president Rocky Vanaken believes that the Cardinals' playoff run will help pay off next spring at the Dozer Park box office. With the St. Louis Cardinals affiliation, people want to see who is the next up-and-coming star coming out of the minor league team. Vanaken says that the team's affiliation is important, especially when the affiliated team is winning and having great success like the Cardinals have this season. ISU's women's soccer team faced Loyola for its Kick for a Cure game on October 13th. Freshman Dagny Olsen's goal in the first half was enough to lead ISU to a win. Goalkeeper Arian Newsom and the Redbird defense came together to post their second shutout in the last 3 games for ISU's 3rd straight win. The shutout came as a surprise, as it was the Redbirds' first match without defensive player Elise Williams, who played every minute of every game before suffering a season-ending knee injury. Well, that's it for sports. Back to you, Danielle.
Thanks, Brent. Which NFL team has the loudest crowd? Well, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Fans set a new Guinness World Record for loudest crowd at a sports stadium in Week 6 of the 2013 NFL season. The crowd noise registered a 137.5 decibel reading. That's louder than a thunder crack and similar to a military jet takeoff.
I had a pretty loud sneeze the other day, but I didn't get a reading on it. So.
Not as loud as the Chiefs fans, though.
No, probably not.
Very loyal.
I don't know.
Well, that's it for the news. I'm Brent Javalis.
I'm Stephen Gothals.
And I'm Dil Hayimski. Have a great night and join us next week.
Well, wow, that was good. Stephen, that was fast. You got back here already.
Yeah, I'm back.
That was great.
We are. Great to be back. All right.
All right, so next we've got On the Beat. Coming up with music. We've got the AMAs. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I know that who got nominated? It was Bruno Mars, Taylor Swift.
Got Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Rihanna. And Ryan Lewis. Oh, yes, Rihanna. That's right.
We got one more. Justin Timberlake.
Oh, my gosh, Justin Timberlake. So, I feel like if there's someone that is looking pretty strong in the winners, I think it might be Justin Timberlake. Yeah. Oh, JT.
Well, we've got the awards coming on November 24th at 8 p.m., so don't forget to watch that. Maybe you're right. Maybe we could get a bet going or something like that, because my money personally is on Taylor Swift.
Ooh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, Bruno Mars had a pretty strong album, though. I've personally listened to Bruno Mars' album.
I do like a couple of his songs. What's the newest one that he's got out?
I know
the album is called Jukebox, correct?
Yeah, but the song Gorillaz has been playing on the radio a lot, and I don't know how I feel about that song.
I'm not a big fan of that one.
On the radio, but it's...
But okay, he's good. And then JT, he's been pretty big, so maybe you're right. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
His newest song is not Mirrors, but something else.
Gosh, you got me.
All right, well, we'll see. Let's see if it's On the Beat.
Hi, I'm Jalen Cook, and this is On the Beat. Fun fact, Did you know that Lord is only 16 years old? That's right. The breakout star from New Zealand who brought us the current #1 song on the charts is a senior in high school. Could you imagine dancing at prom or homecoming and all of a sudden the DJ starts playing the song that you wrote? Best dance ever. Lord's debut album, Pure Heroine, was released on September 27th and has made a strong case towards being named the best album of the year. The album features such singles such as Tennis Court, Team, and of course the chart-topping Royals. Each track is a showcase of Lord's striking vocal ability, which has drawn many positive comparisons to that of Lana Del Rey's. The minimal production value not only displays Lord's voice, but also creates a very atmospheric experience for the listener, which is the perfect representation of Lord's mysterious personality. Pure Heroine has ranked highly in all the album charts across the globe, including the #3 spot on the Billboard 200 listing here in the United States. Lord is a young artist with all the potential in the world and is destined for a long, successful career in music. Pure Heroine is a fantastic first effort, and I'm definitely excited to see what she does next. Until next time, for On the Beat, I'm Jalen Cook.
That was great. Thank you, Jalen.
I know we got Street Team coming up, and they're talking about sports.
Yep.
And in terms of like baseball and playoff baseball, I, for one, am a Cubs fan.
Okay.
And the Cardinals are getting in the playoffs. And it's really, I have a bunch of friends that are just like nagging at me like, oh, yeah, go Cardinals. And I'm just like, no.
I've actually never been a huge baseball fan. It's a little too slow for me. I know that people who love baseball would disagree.
That's understandable.
But I did go to my first Cubs game last summer, and it was pretty good. They were playing, not the Cardinals. I don't remember who they were playing.
Was it the first time you were at Wrigley Field?
Yes, it was.
How'd you like Wrigley Field?
It was really nice. I thought it was cool.
The friendly confines.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. In my opinion.
Okay.
Of course, I'm a little bit biased because I'm from Chicago.
Yes.
But,
well, I am as well.
It's
so
pretty great.
Yes, definitely. All right, so what do we got next? We got On the Street, and with the World Series around the corner, Street Team thought it would be fun to test some baseball knowledge.
Let's see who knows their baseball. Swing away with Street Team, Ricky.
Hey everybody, I'm Ricky Hennon here with Midstate Magazine, and this is the Street Team. The baseball playoffs started last week, so we're going to go around and ask people a couple questions to find out what they know about baseball. So let's get started. In what year did the first professional baseball game get played?
Probably, let's guess, 1950.
I'm gonna have to go with 18, like exact year.
Yeah.
Like 1895.
Go with 1897.
I'm gonna say probably somewhere in the 1910s or the 1920s. Not exactly.
Honestly, I cannot tell you.
Actually, the first professional game was played in 1871. So who won the World Series first, the Cubs or the Sox?
The Cubs.
What do you think?
The Sox.
Cubs.
Cubs?
I can't remember. I think it was
Sox, I believe.
Yeah?
I'm gonna go with the Sox.
Actually, the White Sox won a year before the Cubs in 1906, and the Cubs won in 1907. So, can you show us your best home run celebration?
Okay.
I'll trade you. Everybody's gonna take off their backpacks, please. Boom. Yeah. Well, that wraps up this edition of Midstate Magazine. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Ricky, and thank you, Street Team.
Oh, that was a fun little Street
Segment?
TV. Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. Well, next we have About Town coming up, and I know that since Halloween is coming up, there's a lot of just, I know the Museum of Contemporary Art is doing something.
Yeah, the Peoria Art Center, they've got some attractions that you can go to. I believe every Wednesday they have a Harvest Cafe, and someone named, with the last name of, I think it's John Rudolph, he basically plays jazz music. He's been highly recommended every Wednesday around 8 p.m. You can go and see him.
Oh, neat.
So yeah, that's something definitely to check out. What were
Yeah,
you saying about Sully's?
other news in Peoria, Sully's, which is a popular bar for 21-year-olds, like downtown Peoria.
Okay.
They lost their liquor license.
Really?
Yeah, because of not paying taxes or something, and so
Wow.
I know that's a popular bar that
For
people
sure.
go to. So.
Well, Don, I think Shane has found a spot for you to visit.
Oh, really? Well, let's check in with About Town to see where I should be heading.
For this week's About Town segment, we are taking you outside the city of Peoria to the Morton Strongman competition, Muscle on Main. Athletes from all around the country came to Main Street in downtown Morton to prove their strength in 5 different events.
There was a static hold for time. There was an event deadlift for time. There was a refrigerator carry, a motorcycle carry, and then the final event, which will be a stone pickup for time.
Competitor Joe Babraria says events like Strongman provides a sense of healthy competition and as an opportunity to test yourself.
You want to see how strong you are against other people, and sometimes it's fun to put all the workouts to use. You know, we're spending a lot of time in the gym, you spend a lot of time lifting heavy stuff, and it's nice to kind of go to a competition and see kind of where you are and put it to use.
Fellow competitor Mario Capassi also liked the competitive edge and says competing in a sport like this just made sense for a guy like him.
Just the competitive edge. It's a big man sport, as you can see. I'm a big man, so I kind of just put 2 and 2 together, found the guy that knew how to do it right, and I just went from there.
And even though this event is called Strong Man, there were still plenty of women willing to prove that females can lift too. As competitor Amanda McNew, all the way from Kokomo, Indiana, explains, with a little training, anything is possible.
You know, I just think it's awesome that we can do it. Like, it just shows you that if you train for anything, you can do it. I mean, nobody can say, hey, you can't do that. I mean, could I walk up there tomorrow if I'd never tried it and do it? Probably not. But if you train for it, you can do it.
Morton Mayor Ron Ransom was impressed with what the women accomplished.
Oh, yeah, some of them were better than the men. Some of these big old boys get up there and couldn't move it. The girls were lifting it up. That's a whole new list of women I will not talk back to.
And with a couple hundred spectators looking on, competitors were cheered on every step of the way. Those who excelled into the top 3 of each division received the coveted trophy signifying they truly are strong men and women. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Shane Fryer.
Thank you, Shane. But Kayla, I don't think you'd find me there. Seems more like your scene.
You know, I have been to the gym quite a bit. Not the place for either of us to go, maybe. We should just stick to television hosting.
Probably. I mean, me, Don, here, chilling.
You know, I know your name. I just got confused for a second. It happened.
That's all right. It's all right. Well,
so
pretty big news in the spotlight in Bradley. Apparently, the new mascot that has been on front page of the Scout is that we are now the Gargoyles.
The
We're still the
Gargoyles.
Braves. Yes, we're still the Braves. But Gargoyles,
The brave
that's our
Gargoyles,
mascot.
I guess.
The brave Gargoyles.
So no squirrels. Squirrels are out.
Yeah, no, the squirrels are out. I mean, I know there was a lot of just like joking around, like, oh, we should be the squirrels. Wow.
All right.
Hollywood never slows down. There's always a frenzy.
Babies, weights, engagements, and so much more happy news. Let's check in with Jackie with the Spotlight.
I'm Jackie Myers, and this is In the Spotlight. Have you seen Kim Kardashian lately? About a month after baby North was born, the public eye couldn't help but notice this hot mama's new transformation. Kim K finally reached out to her fans explaining how she lost a total of 25 pounds. I've actually been doing the Atkins diet and love it, said the TV personality to a follower over Twitter. Whether she is working out at the gym, dressing her new skinny physique in designer clothes, or hanging out with baby North, Kim K seems to be loving life as a first-time mommy. We've seen Lauren Conrad walk the red carpet with grace and style, but is the former MTV star going to be dressed in all white in the future? The answer is yes. This celeb fashionista wrote on her blog this past Sunday about her recent engagement news to law student William Tell. She posted a picture of her new bling stating, "I'm very excited to share with you guys that William and I got engaged over the weekend, and I am beyond thrilled. Elsie's family, friends, and fans are so happy for her and can't wait to hear more about the wedding and see her on the big day." Boy or girl? Although Jennifer Love Hewitt is keeping her baby's gender a surprise, that didn't stop her from celebrating little Love's arrival. The star of the client list hosted a baby shower last Saturday for 25 of her closest friends at the Hotel Bel Air in Los Angeles. The event was organized by celebrity event planner Mindy Weiss, who went above and beyond for her client with fun games for the guests. Hewitt and fiancé Brian Hasley are so excited for the arrival of their little love this December. For In the Spotlight, I'm Jackie Myers.
Thank you, Jackie, for that lovely Hollywood update.
You know, these stars sure do get a lot of attention for normal things like weddings and babies.
They do. I know that I probably won't get near as much attention for my wedding or my baby, but whatever, so that's that.
Well, you deserve it.
I do. Come on.
Yeah.
But so, funny things. What's going on?
Melissa McCarthy? What do you got on Melissa McCarthy? I know I've seen The Heat.
I have not seen that, and I've seen the preview in the trailer.
Girl, you gotta see it.
Looks hilarious. So tell me a little bit about that. Don't spoil it for me, but I would like a little synopsis, okay?
Yeah, okay. Well, so Melissa McCarthy, she is a cop in sort of like a rough neighborhood, and Sandra Bullock is a...
Both hilarious actresses.
Yes, indeed. And so Sandra Bullock is more of a an esteemed like CIA agent, I think, and she like comes to work with Melissa McCarthy in like her rough neighborhood and help out with like the situation that she's dealing with.
Okay. Well, speaking of funny thing, I hope you're ready for some laughs, because we've got State of the Arts coming up.
Hello, and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Brooke Janes. Today on the show, I have Ryan Southwood. He's a comedian and a student at Bradley University. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. So how did you get into comedy?
Well, it started when I was a very little kid. I remember one Christmas I got a CD that had 60 minutes worth of jokes on it, and so I listened to that CD a lot. It was really funny, and that's when I started memorizing jokes, and then I started looking up jokes on the internet, and it sort of took off from there.
Okay, so you started memorizing, and then did you develop your own style of comedy, or?
Yeah, what I do is I read jokes, and then I kind of go through them in my mind, think of what sounds funny, and then I sort of put my own personal twist on them, so give them a personal twist.
Okay, and who do you have to critique your jokes? Because comedy is a tough world to jump into.
Yeah, I tell my jokes to my parents and my siblings usually, first off, and then sometimes I'll tell them to members of my church youth group. That's actually how I kind of became famous telling jokes, was that my youth group takes retreats every winter to a Christian camp in Wisconsin, and on the last night of the trip, we always have a talent, no talent night. Okay. Talent is optional. So anyway, anybody can perform a talent act, and what I've always done is told jokes, and they liked them every year. You know, the youth group really liked my jokes, but senior year, I actually won the competition, and that was a really good feeling.
There you go. And what do you get for winning?
It's just a little orange traffic cone that says 2013 Talent, No Talent Night, so nothing huge.
You don't get to go to Last Comic Standing or anything like that?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh. Is that some place that you aspire to go? Are you that serious about your comedy?
Well, I'm a television arts major, and where I really want to go is game show hosting, because I've always been into game shows, and you kind of need to be funny if you're a game show host, unless you're Alex Trebek. So,
yeah, you need to be good at improv too, right?
Yes.
Do you have any experience with that?
No, not really.
No. Okay, well, you can give us a little taste of what you do. If you just want to head over and give us.
So, a farmer has 3 sons, and he brings them all together because one of them pushed the outhouse into the lake. And so he wants to know exactly who it was. So he brings them all together and he just asks them, okay, who pushed the outhouse into the lake? And none of them say anything. So what he does is he sits them all down and he tells them the story of how George Washington cut down his father's cherry tree. But then he admitted to doing it, so his father was proud of him and didn't punish him. Well, then naturally, the guilty son stepped up and said, I pushed the outhouse into the lake. And so his father then starts punishing him. He starts giving him spankings. And so the kid says, but wait, I thought you said that George Washington's father was proud of him and didn't punish him. And the father says, yeah, but George Washington's father wasn't in the cherry tree when he chopped it down. All right, so a man is eating alone in a restaurant, and he sees a pretty woman sitting a few tables over. And so, he sees a pretty woman sitting a few tables over, and the woman happens to sneeze, and she has a glass eye, so it comes flying right out of her head, and his natural instinct is to reach up and catch it. And so he walks over to her table, gives her her glass eye, and she invites him to finish his dinner with her. And so they eat dinner together, and she eventually picks up the tab, and she invites him to go out to see a movie after dinner. And so they both go out to see a movie together, and she pays for both of their tickets. And so then, after the movie is over, she says, "Why don't you come over to my house tomorrow and I'll make you breakfast?" And so he accepts the invitation. So the next morning he goes out to her house, and she prepares a huge, delicious breakfast for her. She makes every possible thing you could possibly think of for breakfast, and it's all delicious. And he says, "You know what? I hope you don't mind me asking this, but are you this nice to every guy you meet?" And she says, "Oh no, of course not. You just happened to catch my eye." All right, so final joke. A rough and tough cowboy rides his horse up to a bar, and he ties his horse to the bar, goes in, and orders a couple drinks. So he drinks some and has some fun, and then eventually he goes back out, and sees that his horse is missing. So he comes back and says, "Okay, here's the deal. My horse is gone, and I'm going to order one more drink. If my horse is not back by the time I'm finished with that drink, I'm going to do what I had to do back in Texas. I don't want to do what I had to do back in Texas." So he orders his drink, gulps it down, goes back outside, and sees that the horse is right where he had left it. And so he saddles up and is ready to go, and the bartender asks him, "So, what did you have to do back in Texas?" The cowboy replies, "I had to walk home."
Thank you for your performance, Ryan, and thank you for watching. That's all the time we have for this week. For State of the Arts, I'm Brooke Janes.
Smiling and laughter are always good for the soul.
Thank you, Brooke, and thank you, Ryan.
Well, that was really good. We talked about a lot today.
Piece.
We want to go a little bit of a rewrap.
Yeah, sure.
We did some AMAs. Don't forget to tune in for that on the 24th at 8 p.m.
My bet is JT's going to win.
Taylor Swift, so we'll have to see.
Oof.
And then we got some, you talked about Sully's, how they lost their liquor license.
Yeah,
People
their liquor
have probably
license
find
is
a new
gone.
spot to hang out.
Until Sully's, they can get their liquor license back if they pay the taxes that they haven't paid.
So definitely manageable, I think.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, what else
go
did we
out and
get?
see The Heat. The newest Sandra Bullock movie is Gravity.
Okay.
I saw that. That's also really good, too.
Funny, serious?
That one's serious, yeah.
Okay.
So go see The Heat and go see Gravity.
All right,
Sandra
so a little bit
Bullock
of comedy, a
marathon.
little bit of seriousness. I'll have to check them both out.
Oh, yeah.
What's the new one called with Sandra Bullock?
Gravity.
Gravity. Okay, so
Yeah.
when is that? Is that already in theaters or?
That's in
coming out?
theaters right now, yeah.
Okay, awesome. We'll definitely have to check that out.
That's a stellar piece.
And then we talked about the Red Lobster waitress. We got
Oh,
Halloween
yes.
coming up.
Mm-hmm. Get excited for Halloween.
For sure. You got your costume ready?
I don't.
No?
Yeah, I got to come up with a costume.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do.
All right, well, I mean, we'll figure
Do you
it out.
have your costume?
No, I don't. But, I
Oh.
mean, it shouldn't be too hard. I could go as a pumpkin.
You could wear a white trash
I
bag
could-
and go as white trash.
I could.
That's the easiest thing I always
That
fall
is,
to.
and it's cheap.
Exactly.
Good job,
Wear a white
Steven.
trash bag. Well, as much fun as we had on today's show, we've run out of time, unfortunately. So be sure to tune in next week for Midstate Magazine. I'm Stephen Goethals.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Have a great evening and see you next week.